So I've spent over 500 days in this world and I've only got a couple of builds to show for it. So today I'm going to make up for that by creating 2 awesome builds that I think will tie together everything I've made so far. Okay, so this place is looking nice, but I think I can make it look better. But before I start placing blocks, I'm going to get some upgrades on my gear. I want Netherite. And so, with the image of Netherite firmly lodged in my mind, I made my way to the closest desert to get some sand for TNT so I can do some blast mining. Alright, so what I want to do in this episode is I want to make some builds that sort of go with everything that I currently have, and the themes at the moment that I'm going with is cottagecore and Greek style, although they don't really fit together very well. And so what I'm going to try and do is merge the 2 styles in the builds that I'm going for and try and make something that fits and doesn't just seem like it's plonked in the world. And I think I've got a pretty good idea of what sort of builds we can make, so hopefully you guys will like it. Alright, so I've been pretty busy gathering some sand. We've got 2 shulker boxes. Now I've just got to head over to the farm and go get my gunpowder. Why is there so many golems here? What the heck? There's like 7 golems. There's one over there as well. What the hell? Alright, so bought 2 more shulker boxes over here. Oh no, I gotta turn that down. Okay, so I'll just fill up these shulker boxes with this gunpowder and I'll meet you back when we've got some TNT. And so with just over a double chest of each, I have got 11 stacks of TNT. It's actually not that much. Cool, so with all of the TNT gathered, I will find a good spot in the nether and go and get a bunch of netherite. Alright, wish me luck. Hopefully this doesn't blow up in my face and I lose literally everything that I own, but I guess we'll see. So I spent around an hour blast mining my way through the nether with a few close calls. Uh-oh. Run, run, run. Whoa. Holy. But overall, I managed to get myself a good amount of ancient debris. Alright, so I have been at this for a while now. I've managed to get 36 ancient debris in total, and so I think we should be able to get all my tools and all of my armor with that. But now I need to just get out of this maze of tunnels. Alright, so I've got these smelting now, and give it a bit of time, and they'll be done. Alright, I do believe, yep, we do have enough gold to get all the netherite that we want, and yep, all these furnaces are finished and we should have 36 netherite scraps just like that. So we'll go in here, craft them all up. Look at that, nice. And we'll head over here. I still don't know why there's so many iron golems here. I think these guys are just hanging out. Anyway, with the smithing template we should be able to... yes, that's a good point. We are going to need some smithing upgrades. I forgot about that. Well, one moment. And one short trip to a bastion later. Alright, well, we got it. We got it. We can now escape. Well, that was certainly quite interesting. It was a pretty close call at times, but you know what? We did it, and we got the upgrade. Now, luckily enough, I did actually get a bunch of diamonds from mining last episode. Don't worry, I did get them legit, I promise, okay? I know you may not believe me, but I did, I swear, I got them legit, okay? So, I guess we just... Oh wait, we need some netherrack. And I believe it's just like this. It's like that, okay. Well, I'm an idiot. And there we go, 12 upgrades, nice. Oh, we've got a 4th one that's joined. Anyway, alright, so we've got this smithing table just here, and I guess we just go ahead and upgrade everything. Well, doesn't that just feel awesome? I'm fully upgraded and I'm looking so cool. Okay, so now I've got my shiny new set of armor, I want to start on the builds I've got planned for this episode, starting with a sheep farm. Now you may wonder why I want a sheep farm, but the reason is that I need a bunch of red wool for one of the builds I plan on making. Alright, now before I go collect these resources, I just want to say a quick thank you for watching. Even if you've just clicked because you like the thumbnail, I really appreciate it. Staying for even just a few minutes means a lot, so thank you. Right, let's go get some blocks. So starting off, I collected some sandstone bits which will be for the main decoration of the farm. There's the fence gates for access so the sheep can be put into the farm, and then I went ahead and gathered the observers for the farm. This next bit might hurt to watch, but I didn't have silk touch on any shovel, so I just used my pickaxe. I apologise. Moving on though, I made a bunch of bows, and I think that dispensers are genuinely the most tedious things to craft. But I managed to get them all done, and it was time to get the wool. Alright, now I just gotta go get the dyes. place, and then hopefully we should have everything. So I spent a little bit of time gathering the dyes, using the flowers from my flower farm, and overall getting most of the wool. So now I only need cyan, green, and lime wool, but they all need cactus because I need some green dye. So I'm gonna head to the closest desert and go get some cactus. And after gathering the cactus, I have everything I need to build the farm. Alright, there we go. Everything's green, and we can get on with the wool farm. So this farm is actually quite a simple one. It works by these observers detecting when the sheep eat the grass, which then activates the dispensers with shears in. The farm has every colour of wool too, just because then I have easy access to more colours in the future. If you did want to make this yourself, then by becoming a channel member, you can have access to this schematic and every single other one that I have made. So if that's something you'd like to do, then it's available on my channel page. Oh, looks like we're done. Okay, so this is what the farm is looking like at the moment, and all I need to do now is get all the sheep in, and it should be up and running. So I'll go get the sheep, and I'll meet you back once I've done it. So whilst I'm moving the sheep, I just wanted to let you know that I am challenging myself to reach 25,000 subs by the end of this year, and if you would like to help me out with that goal, then I would be truly grateful. Alright, so now with this wool farm set up, we can go ahead and get started on the main builds. Now this is actually going to be part of one of the structures. Obviously I needed to build this first because I need the red wool, like I said, for the roof. Now the structure that's going to go on top of this flower farm, I actually am really proud of how it came out. I designed it in creative mode, and it's essentially like two mushrooms combined in one. And that may not make too much sense at the moment with me just describing it, but I cannot wait to build it and show you guys. Before we crack on with the main build though, there is this patch of land that I've not known what to do with, but I have come up with an idea. Since we're leaning towards a more cottage core styling, there is nothing better than some lovely looking custom trees. Now of course I am going to need to get some resources to make these trees, so it's time to destroy some trees to make some trees. Does trees still sound like a word? I don't know. So before gathering the materials, I thought I'd get a fully decked out hoe. It's much quicker gathering the leaves this way, so I traded with my villagers and made one. Whilst I was out finding all the biomes I needed, I managed to stumble upon this bit of interesting generation. So I've just been flying around here and I found a pale forest, but what is this generation with a dark oak forest and a woodland mansion in the side of a mountain? What is this? I mean, this is just crazy. And then there's a lush cave down here as well. I mean, if you want the coordinates, here you go. This is a crazy bit of generation. So I spent a while gathering up all the materials I needed and then built up this forest. I did make a short explaining my process of making custom trees, so if you want to learn how to make these nice looking additions, then I would definitely recommend checking it out if you want my perspective. I've also made a schematics pack of custom trees, which you can of course access via membership, or you can join my Discord, where as a thank you for reaching 10,000 subscribers, I will be giving away 5 lucky winners lifetime access to all of my schematics. Alright, well these trees are actually looking quite nice, I think. I did also go ahead and place some lanterns whilst I was at it, just so that there's no mobs spawning in the middle of this place. But overall, I think it does like cover up this building quite nicely, which is actually what I wanted. And so you only really see it when you come around this corner and you get a really nice view. I think that's really nice. Now there obviously is going to be a building here and a building here, but overall these trees are doing their job. I like it. I just wanted them to make this place feel a bit more cozy, a bit more cottage core like, and yeah, I think I've done the job. There are a couple gaps though, like just here, where I think some stones might look nice, or like some small boulders. So I might go get some rocks, some like cobblestone bits, and try and make some. See if I can make it look nice. All right, so we'll grab some cobblestone, and yeah, let's get some stone as well. Let's get some deep slate too. Add some darker areas, and then we'll head to the farm and get some moss. Oh hey bud, what are you doing here? Alright, so I'll grab a stack of moss, and I'm also going to grab some pale moss as well, because I think that will look nice on the stones. And you know what, whilst we're at it, let's get some tuff. I think that'll look nice. Oh, and of course it's raining. Alright, let's build a rock. You know what, add in a few rocks. It's actually made this thing look a lot better. Maybe I should add some leaves to these. Maybe that would be a little bit overwhelming with all the leaves that we already have. You know what? Actually, I could add some smaller trees, like small saplings. I think that'll look nice. Yeah, I'm going to do that in the empty spaces. Yeah, that'll do. It's okay. I don't mind it. Let's put one here. Does that look good? Kind of hard to make the smaller trees because they either look too empty or like too bushy. What about if we just like removed a couple leaves? Is that alright? I think it'll be fine for now. I think up close it's fine, so as long as that's done, then it should be fine. How's that? I think that one looks better. Alright, I think this place is looking good now. We just need to get these 2 buildings in, and then I think the place will start to feel a lot less empty. Because right now we have like a nice little forest, but yeah, as far as the rest of everything else is concerned, there's not too much here. You know, I thought I'd put shaders on to see how this looks, and honestly, it looks so nice. I'm walking through this forest and seeing the bank appear in like, oh yeah, that's nice. You know what, this place is coming along quite nicely, I think. So now this forest is in, I want to build some mushrooms. Now, there are a good variation of blocks to get, so let's go and get them. So there are quite a lot of resources for this build, lots of different types of blocks, so I'm going to need quite a few shulker boxes, I think. Luckily enough, I have been saving up, and I shall just take a row of shulker boxes, and hopefully that'll be enough. Alright, well, there's the first one, first item in. Now I just got to get everything else. So the first thing I did was head to the nether. I needed some nether wart blocks because I am going to use them for detail in the mushroom tops. I am going to skip over most of the gathering because it looked like this for a lot of it, grabbing stuff out of chests, crafting the parts I need, and then placing into shulker boxes. Not that interesting. I did do a little bit of exploring though, heading out to the mesa to get terracotta for some roof texture, as well as heading to a cherry biome. I crafted all the cherry stuff and then went out to find a stony peaks biome to gather some calcite. I don't know how long these stony peaks have been in the game, but they are a game changer for getting calcite. Calcite used to be so annoying to get because it only used to spawn in geodes, but now it spawns on these stony peaks. Oh, so much easier to get. I really like this block as well, so it's really nice because I get to build with it more, and it's not such a pain to get. So that's good. Yeah, that should be enough. Okay, we have got every single resource. It took me a little while, but everything is green apart from this red wool. Now, the problem is this wool farm has been generating a little bit, but we've only got 35. So what I'm thinking is if I can dye every single other piece of wool, hopefully it should give me enough. Now, we have got quite a bit of dye. I already got quite a lot of red dye from all the flowers that I've been farming, and we do have some more in here, so hopefully with all of these flowers we can get a good amount of dye. So I have just used all of that dye, and we've managed to get just under 4 stacks, which is, yeah, not even halfway done. So I've come over to my rosebush farm, and hopefully this should be more than enough dye. Alright, that's enough wool, I think. And just check on the schematic. Yep, that's more than enough. Awesome. Alright, so I have everything in these 4 boxes behind me. Now all I have to do is place everything. Let's go! With this build, I decided to mimic the red mushrooms, and so I started with a grey/white colour palette using blocks like andesite, pale moss, and light grey wool. I really like the small decorations I did for this build with the pots and campfires that I added. I also think that the oak wood I used here fit really well with the grey tones that I had going on, and so I decided that a window would look nice in this section, allowing some light into the build. I used mushroom stem blocks here to add shadow to the underside of the mushroom tops, and using darker tones in builds can really add some nice extra depth, so I would definitely recommend trying different blocks to add this effect to your own builds. This was my first real go at an organic structure, and I think the shaping of these mushrooms came out really well. Once I put in the window you saw earlier, I thought that these windows on the tops would look really nice too. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on this build, so if there is anything you'd add or take away, then let me know. I'm genuinely very intrigued. But finishing off the mushroom's overall shape, I am really liking the look of this. This addition is also something I'm super proud of. Nature is sometimes quite hard to pull off proportion wise, and I think I did quite a good job with both the flower and the tree sprouting from this build. Well, I mean, don't you think this looks great? I'm super pleased with how this has came out, honestly. Like, all the different colours, they don't really clash all that much, which is really nice. It's a good gradient with the grey wool into diorite into calcite and then bone blocks, with mushroom stem as like some shadow. I thought that was a really nice touch. There's also some leaves just here, and they like come down together as like 2 separate vines combining into one, and I really like that touch. And then the oak acting as like supports. Oh dear, I think there's a zombie in there. But yeah, I really like everything. The tulip, is that a tulip? I don't actually know. Is that a tulip? The tulips, are they pink? I don't know. But these little details with all like the storage items, I think these are really nice as well. Just all the decorations are just pretty neat, I think. But the only problem is, well, inside. It's not looking great in here, I'm gonna be honest. Especially with guys like that. But I think we can fix this with a quick 360, and there we go. It's all finished. Right, I suppose I'll give you a quick tour. I mean, it's not exactly the biggest room in the world, but we have all of the barrels with everything that we're getting from the flower farm underneath. There's some nice little decorations in here with some plant pots, some chests, and some leaves and stuff, some plants as well here, and some pots as decoration. There is some little bits in the wall just to add that extra bit of detail, and the ceiling consists of mangrove and a little bit of tuff, which I think is quite nice. That's like a small little detail that people might not notice. And then of course we have this window so that you can see stuff flowing in and around the system, and it's all organized. Now, the thing that we don't talk about is, well, this room. Yeah, we just ignore this and pretend like it's not here. But what I'll do is I'll show you quickly around how this works, if I can even get up. Oh dear. So obviously the farm works as is, and then it falls down here, goes up in this water stream, goes in through the hoppers. They are all filtered along here, so everything has its own slot. And then what will happen is, because there's a lot of items that come in at once, I've made it circular, so essentially the items come through, go up and back around. So it's pretty simple, and it's I think this room is looking quite nice. Oh, and I also did outside just here because I thought, well, we may as well just do it because it looks ugly with the grass here, so I decided I'll fix the floor as well. So now we have everything sorted, and I added some leaves as well to the outside, and it looks pretty good, I think. Besides in here, don't look in there. We'll close that and pretend like it's not there. It's fine. Alright, well, we're gonna make our way through this rain and go and find a desert once again, because I need some sand. And why is it constantly raining? Oh, hey guys, do you mind? Can you, like, not, please? No, go away. Yep, that's alright. Okay. Yep, that's good, that's good. Okay, please disappear. And so I spent a little bit of time grabbing some sand for this Greek ruin. Alright, well, hopefully our full inventory should be enough. Just gotta head back home now. And it's still raining. Oh my goodness. And after grabbing some sand, I needed some birch, so I headed out to a birch forest to grab some. You know, chopping all these trees is great, but I really ought to make a tree farm. It would go a lot quicker and it would save me a hell of a lot of time, so I might do that in the next episode. Maybe I could build like a cool little lumber mill. Ooh, that's an idea. Alright, that should be enough. I need some fence gates and some birch wood, strip birch wood to be exact, so hopefully that should be fine. So I spent a good amount of time in the storage system now, because honestly, most of the stuff was already in the storage system. The only thing that I really needed to do was grow some spruce trees, because I needed a bunch of spruce, and I didn't have much in my storage system. I'm starting to lose the meaning of storage system now. Can you not? Really? Alright, so in these two shulker boxes, I've got everything I need, and so I guess we just gotta build this thing. So speaking a little bit about the idea behind this build is that I wanted to merge the two styles. So the thing that came to mind was like a Greek temple structure, but then also bringing that cottagecore feel into it. I thought the best way to do that was to have leaves and moss taking over the temple, giving it that sort of abandoned vibe. Just so it looks like a temple, but then also has the cottagecore nature that has sort of taken over. Well, I mean, I think this is looking pretty damn cool. For some reason, I still have a bunch of blocks left over. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe I just missed a few, because this wool farm was already here, so maybe I accidentally merged the two and had some leftover blocks. That's alright though, they can go back into the storage system. But I think this place is looking pretty cool. One small detail that I really like is like the fences. This structure, like the dry structure, is like birch, but then as like damp has gone through the structure, I've added oak and even some spruce in here to make it look like it's wet. I think that's really nice. And then also a nice transition between sandstone to like moss and like mossy cobblestone is endstone, I find, because it has that like slight tinge of green, and so this like merge from sandstone into endstone and then into mossy stone, I think it makes it look a lot more immersive. So I really like how I did that. I think this area is coming along a lot nicer now. Unfortunately, I did realize that this bank sign is kind of cut off by the building. I don't think it's that bad, because you still get this like nice entranceway as you walk down. And also it's a nice merge from cottagecore to this sort of Roman Greek style building. Only thing is though, this doesn't really have much of a floor, so I'm going to do that quickly and then come back once it's done. Alright, so I think this will look nice with some coarse dirt in. I've got a bunch of different stuff like jungle planks and some normal dirt that I will actually change into path blocks. I think this sort of style looks really nice with like the browns and then like a little pop of color from the yellow with the path blocks. It also adds a different like height elevation just by 1 pixel, but I think it makes all the difference. So I'm just going to place these blocks randomly and hopefully it will come out looking somewhat okay. So this pathway is coming along quite nicely, but I did forget to add some mud bricks, so that's what I'm doing here. Okay, so we've added these little bits here, the little bricks, and now I think I've just got to slope it down here with some slabs. Something like this. It's a shame that we don't have more like half blocks of different things. We've just got jungle and mud bricks in the brown tones. I wish we had like half slabs of dirts and whatnot. It'd add for a bit more variety rather than just doing like these slabs, but oh well. What I'm actually going to do is, I think I'm just going to wrap this a little bit, just so that this incline has a block next to it. I don't know why, it just makes me feel better. Yes, I'm that picky with how I build. What are you going to do? I think I'm going to leave this path here for now and just like end it off just here. Something like this, with some slabs going down. And then maybe I can do like some bits just coming off here. Does that look good? Does that look like a path that sort of ends naturally? Well, I think it'll do for now. Maybe we can add like a bit there. Yep, that's good. That's good. I like it. Now we just need to add some bushes and some fences around. Just like this path here, and some lanterns so that we don't get killed by mobs and all of my builds get blown up by creepers. Alright, so what I'm thinking is this area can actually like start to develop into some sort of stone bits. We've got a lot of wood and a lot of fences going around this area, and that's because at the time I didn't really have much resources, but now I have a little bit more stuff. And so I might start using a bit more stone, like mossy stone and some bits like this. And then put some lanterns on top of these things like this. Yeah, I think that'll look nice. And then some leaves in between. And then we can add fences along the side like that. And actually the combination of the darker like stone bits with the wood is actually quite nice. I like it. Yeah, that looks cool. I like that. Maybe we can do like a cool little statue here. I could put like a little bit in here. And I don't know what could be right now though. But there's like a little gap here that something cool could go in. I mean, maybe I'll just leave it blank, but I think it would be nice. So let me know what you think, and I might just put it in. Yeah, that looks good. We're just going to put some lanterns about. Something like that. And we probably need some lanterns on this as well, because it's a little bit dark, so I might just pop a couple. Yeah, that's alright. Yeah, that's a lot brighter, and it looks a lot nicer as well. I like that. Now, we might have some problems with spawning on top of this. I think I spawn-proofed it all, but I guess we'll find out when a creeper drops on my head. Now, all we got to do is just add a few leaves about the place. I think it will look nice. Oh, hello. You better not be from my villager thing. I hope he's not. That looks really nice and cozy. I'm loving this. I think this is great. I got my sheep farm, I got a flower farm in there, and it's all coming together really nicely. The bank's in the background, and it looks good. I like it. You know, I think I am going to light this up just so that there's no mobs falling on my head. So the last thing I want is for this to be blown up. Can you not? Can you go away, please? Where did you come from? Well, I'll tell you what, this has come along really nicely. It's actually came out a lot better than I was expecting it to. And to be honest, my goal was to kind of merge the two styles, and I think I've done alright. We go from sort of a cottagecore to a Greek style, but honestly, I didn't know if it would come out as well as it did, and I'm still a little unsure on how well it merges, but I mean, I guess let me know what you think. It's a shame that this does like slightly block everything that's going on, but I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I think it's actually not too bad. You have like a nice view to the bank here, and yeah, it's really nice. I think it's very much cottagecore and ancient Greek. Yeah, I think they flow quite nicely. Because I tried to not make it so blatantly obvious that you're just going from one style to the next style. And I hope I did a good job. But anyway, I really do want to say a massive thank you for watching. I really do appreciate you watching all the way to the end. That is awesome. And if you did enjoy, then a like would go so far. It would help me with the algorithm, and I would be super grateful for that as well. So thank you. But that is going to be it for this episode. I really hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the future. Bye!